My name is truly Linda G.S. hyphen, that's my maiden name, my last name. And I know that's the important thing for me. I know I am abstinent today because I weigh and measure 3 meals a day off our wonderful clarified gray sheet, Cambridge gray sheet. And I don't eat in anything in between except for legal beverages, coffee, tea, and I don't diet soda, but that's okay, or water. And I know it's given me a life beyond my wildest dreams. I've gone through lots and lots of things abstinently, and if I can do it, any one of you can. And really true. Um, let's see. I don't want to spend as much time, and if I really don't do a good job today, or you don't get something, blame my higher power, because I've asked my higher power, please let me say something that will be of use to someone. Can you hear me with this gravelly voice? Thank you, Jim. Thanks, everybody. Um, and thank you week, Jess, for stepping in. You were fabulous. And to know that this is a program, a we program, where if you can't do something, or I had a bad back, which is better now, somebody else is going to step in. And that's such a miracle. I never had anyone when I was little watching my back or, sticking up for me. My parents loved me very much, but they they were different. We didn't talk about feelings, so I don't know how that little only child came home from school and had people saying things or feeling sad or scared or anything. We never talked about it. So I really had to sort of take care of myself from an early age. And I think that's why I wanted to be a controller. I wanted to control everything, but I couldn't. I had this anchor pulling me down. And I look at pictures of me from when I was a little kid. You see little kids today. I wasn't obese, but I was really chubby, and was right up through college. Um, it a lot of self-hate, a lot of loathing, a lot not knowing who I was. And in Gray Sheet, I have had two sponsors over the 24 years, and they both have helped me to stay abstinent because I couldn't do it on my own. I really couldn't. I didn't know, there are lots of suggestions. They're not rules, they're suggestions here. Some are rules. You don't go out and eat something that's foods we avoid. But there was someone today I was suggesting, maybe she would like to do, dinner and then breakfast and lunch because she called me late. So she wasn't, committing food from 24 hours ahead. And I said, but it's really up to you. She didn't have to follow my suggestion with that. Um, and, but most things we help each other. Uh, when I first came in, and also I've been dealing with a substitute sponsee for a week. Her sponsor apparently never tells her anything because she was mixing all kinds of proteins, didn't know how. We're not making rules here. We're just trying to say, this is our wonderful gray sheet. I don't have it right here. But this is how you measure proteins that are sometimes half the other or twice the other. And together we can do this and figure out how to do it. I love that. But so having someone who's helping me is really a big deal here. I could never, oh yeah, I could lose weight. I could lose weight, but literally 1 week after I got to my goal weight, and I was in OA for 13 years before I came here, and I, you know, I couldn't, oops, excuse me, um, I couldn't stay abstinent. Or, whatever they had. It was a very loosey-goosey food plan, but I still couldn't stay on it. Um, and then the minute in the back of my head was always, and I don't know if any of you ever did this, but it was like, as soon as I lose the weight, that's the first thing I'm going to eat. Well, of course, since I ate that, then immediately my weight started up again. And I never had any hope that I could. My mom was a very tiny woman. I'm more like my dad, barrel chested, apple shape. My mom was tiny, no hope of ever being. And after she died, there were a lot of her clothes I could wear, ones that were, young enough. So, and now summer's coming, that I can pull out anything from my closet and it fits because I'm the same weight I was last September, um, or whenever summer's over, October. So I can do it. What do I want to tell you about? There's so many things going through my head. Um, I I've had a lot of no matter what's in Gray Sheet. And, I sort of feel like it's a wonderful puzzle. Once you get over being overwhelmed and like, how do I do this? It's just a great puzzle for me. A good puzzle. How can I make this work? Okay, I'm going to a party, or someone asks me, Habitat for Habitat for Humanity says, "Oh, we're all meeting at 9:30 on Saturday morning to go and do this." No one minded when I said, "Oh, I have a meeting. It'll be over by 10. I can be there by 10:20." Oh, fine. I never made boundaries. That's another thing I love about Gray Sheet. I never knew how to make boundaries. I was a people pleaser, like a lot of us, and I wanted you to like me, so I didn't want to make any trouble for anyone. Um, I'm telling you, restaurants don't bother me, and I eat out in restaurants a lot. Um, but people's homes, I didn't want to stand up for myself. It was like, oh. And I remember one time, early abstinence, going, and the dish of vegetables that they put for the whole table probably was about 12 ounces. So luckily, she had more of them cooking in a pot out on the stove, and I could say, can I, and I did have backup, but could I go out and get more? But it's like, oh, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. That's why I never count on someone knowing what I do. They're the craziest ideas out there. Oh, you eat healthy. That means this thing is, everybody that you slice in half is healthy. I'll put that in the salad. No, can't do that. And it still doesn't make me feel comfortable. But once I have my weighed and measured meal in front of me, I am I'm listening to each one of you. If you were at the dinner table, I'm listening, I'm talking, I'm enjoying my food, but it's mine and I don't have to worry about it. Before that, I would be talking over people. I would be telling them what to do. I would be really obnoxious. I remember one meeting I went to where they had a um, like a potluck, and I had my food, but I put my salad down on the table, you know, and went to get a fork and came back, and somebody has reached into my bowl and I'm like, oh. So took everything out to the kitchen, went into another room, and called my sponsor and what to do. Um, it's like there are always answers. We're not perfect. We don't do this perfectly. But as long as I pick up the phone and make a call to someone and say, what do I do? Um, there's an answer, especially also when we're sick. Frankly, after I've had a couple of operations in Gray Sheet, and one of them down at Johns Hopkins on my pancreas, that they found coincidentally, or God, in my mind, it was God, that they found a tumor in it when they took a X-ray of my lungs. Go figure. My doctor said she'd never seen that, but they were able to. But afterwards, all food tasted like sawdust. Not the kind we have, but just it was dry, it was awful. Even the most basic protein that we, eat. Well, you know what? I ate no matter what, because how was I going to get well unless I had the nutrition in my body to heal myself? And, I'm not making that decision. I'm just looking at what's on the gray sheet. If I'm about to throw up, most sponsors will say, no, stop eating, but I'm not a kind of person that wants to throw up very much. So I'm lucky about that. Um, let's see, go on. So anyway, so I had that operation. I think it was that one, or it could have been when I went in for my lungs, where a new nurse supervisor, intake nurse, came to take, and I explained about my food and that my husband and I had a cooler, and she said in this saccharine voice, Linda, why don't you just take your diet and put it on the shelf for 4 days, and when you get out of here, then you can start up again. And I'm not antagonistic kind of person, but I just asked her, I said, could I speak to your supervisor? The supervisor came in and listened and was like, that's fine. You've got it planned. It's okay. We'll go along with that. So sometimes it just takes courage. And frankly, I never had the courage. That wasn't my personality. I just sort of did what people wanted me to do. It amazes me that I can sometimes, in a kind way, quiet way, serenely just stick up for myself now. That's that's the only thing. Rochelle, is there 5 more minutes or no? Oh, oh, two before. Okay, so um, let's see what else. It's really important for me, and I wish I had the gray sheet yesterday, but I don't know where they are right now. Um, to to know what I'm eating is on the gray sheet. Sometimes people, have in the past have wanted to add things to the gray sheet. And that's why we have the copyrighted gray sheet that we all can look at. There's also things that I don't know about you guys. I read over the gray sheet it's every couple of months, but I ask sponsees to do it more frequently. Like things like, I didn't see it, to tell you the truth, and my sponsor didn't remember for like 6 months, that if I mix a 4 ounce vegetable and a 4 ounce and a 8 ounce vegetable, then I get 4 ounces of the total amount. And the same with fruit. It's little things like that. And you think, oh, that's so silly. But I do think that the gray sheet was written amazingly. It really, you see people who have been diabetic for years, insulin dependent, they stick on the gray sheet. This one woman I knew stuck on the gray sheet for 5 months, and all of a sudden, her doctor said, "I want to take you off insulin. Your A1C is just perfect." I don't think this is a chance that we're in this. That's the other thing. I think we're all here. You all have a higher power, and I think your higher power loved you enough to bring you into Gray Sheet. I only found it because we moved out to a Gray Sheet town out in Connecticut, and you know, I was in an OA meeting, and this woman came back to the meeting. That's why I love that we have a face-to-face meeting now. We're really lucky, and one meeting in all of um, New Jersey, but people are starting to come. Um, but oh, thank you. And then 5 minutes now, I think.
Um, First you said I did 15 and 5.
No, no, no. It's the hold is 15, right? Right, Joe? 10 and 5. So
Yeah, that's what you have 5 more minutes then, right? Or
okay.
no?
Well,
Okay.
have I had 10?
You had 15 so far.
Oh, then it's only I believe, Joe, 15-minute qualification.
Okay.
Hey, that's all right. Whatever else I would have said isn't that important. I want to hear you guys. People who are counting days mean so much to me because it takes me right back to what I did back in, and then, oh, I had one time when after 9 months, I picked up again. But it takes me right back to what I did in the beginning. So thank you. And I don't eat no matter what. Thanks, everybody.